Hey guys, and this is 012 Boku coming at you with another movie review. And today I'm actually going to bring you, Ghost in the Shell 2. Sorry, because I will admit this is like, I believe, an old blockbuster case. But Ghost in the Shell 2, Innocence. That's right, I'm back doing anime for you guys again, and I'm bringing you the sequel that not too many people know about, because from what I've heard, a lot of Ghost in the Shell fans did not care for the sequel, which at first I could see why, but then at other times I guess I couldn't, but hey, I will get into that right now. But yeah, in 2004, let's see his name again, Yamamoru Oshii, the director of, believe it or not, decided a sequel to it to sort of continue and further the story to give us more mind-bending experiences, because if you think this film is less mind-bending than its original, oh boy, no. It mind-bends you with a huge chip on your shoulder, I guess you could say. For the most part, though, this sequel follows Bato and Bato and I want to keep saying poor guys, sorry, but Bato and Togasa. There we go, Bato and Togasa, who are trying to follow on the leads of this not the it's not the puppet master, but I forget the guy who's doing this. Because it is another guy in robotics. Once again, spoiler warning for you guys ahead. You know, not trying to give everything away, but it is a person in robotics. But this one has a interesting following, because as you can sort of see with on the cover, it deals with I guess types of robots that are just served for companionship or pleasure. It's not like artificial intelligence or anything like that. It's just to serve like household needs, sort of like iRobot. But what happens is that these robots start going berserk, running amok, killing cops, businessmen, innocents. Like, all these deaths are random and not like well connected. And what happens is we have Toga's, Bato here, as you can also see on the main cover. There's Bato, and Bato is sent in to investigate. And this new Bato is quite subdued than when we saw him in the first movie, because as you remember, if you guys have seen the first movie, but once again, spoiler, because I don't think I went into it in great detail or the best effect, but in the first movie, Makoto Kusanagi, Major Kusanagi, and Bato found the Puppet Master. Kusanagi was trying to hack into him to understand why the Puppet Master was trying to be. The Puppet Master was trying to, like, transcend his normal existence or get some sort of weird understanding, from what I could gather. And what happens is the Puppet Master and Kusanagi are both eliminated by the military and government, and Kusanagi is basically dead for counts of just, like, she can't be living, because she knew way too much that the government wanted to keep hidden. So at the end, her ghost disappears onto the net in various different forms and into, I guess, different artificial bodies of robots. So, you know, we didn't know this was going to happen, but they do a sequel, and Kusanagi is still missing. Bato, I guess, has worked for them for all this time and is still in, like, a depressive slump. Everyone at Section 9 knows this, and they leave Bato to his own devices, but I guess they also wanted Bato to get, like, more psych evaluations, so they know he's not going crazy or just weirdly out of control because he's depressed from missing Major Kusanagi. Because in this one, they sort of hit on the idea, which they did a little bit in the first one, but in this one, they hit on it more that if they could have had a relationship, Bato and Major Kusanagi would have had one. But the only thing that Bato has for a relationship, really, besides maybe any of his friends in Section 9, if they can be called that, is really a dog who is a artificial bloodhound, I believe. Like, it is a real dog, but it's not like a purebred bloodhound, because purebred dogs are actually really expensive and rare, almost extinct, and I guess there's now artificial living dogs. And I guess during this case, Captain Aramaki, the old man from the first one, who is their commander, who ironically is not in this film for as long as he was in the first one. Like, he and like a lot of the other agents is sort of distant in this one. He sort of lets, Bato say, you can take this case, but I want you to be careful. I don't want you going headstrong and doing weird stuff like the Major did, because I know the Major disappeared. I don't believe she's dead. She disappeared, but I do know it had something to do with the Puppet Master, and since this is a similar case to the Puppet Master, don't go off the deep end. Which is why Aramaki, I believe, puts Togusa with Bato, so Togusa can keep an eye on Bato, and also give him some friendship that he needs. And Togusa, we get to see more of his life. He's still a family man. His daughter has gotten older. He has a very good, loving relationship with his wife, and I guess in many ways he tries to start a friendship with Bato, but Bato's like put up a huge wall, and he and him try to just go and discover what these whole killings with these robots have been about. And it's a whole like different world of intrigue, mafia, and just like, in many ways, it could be down to anything. They really peel back the layers of what could this be, and you'll never guess, how it came about. Like, I won't go into any further details of that if you want to see the film, but it was just a nutty idea, because they get involved with Yakuza members, and the Yakuza bosses involved in this somehow. Random, like I said, political party members are involved. Random people too, so in many ways, like the Puppet Master, but at a different level. And what's dangerous in this one is both Bato, and I'll try to show you him on the back, but if you can see there, the guy standing next to Bato, right here, Togusa, their minds get hacked by the person causing this, trying to throw him off the trail, because this person believes that Bato and Togusa are like way too close, so they can see like things messing with their head. Like at one point, just to give you an example of what happens to Bato. Bato buys this wet food at this one run-of-the-mill store, corner store, for his dog, and while he does it, his mind gets hacked, and he actually goes on a rampage to where he thinks someone is watching him, and he sees this little girl go out of the shop at first, who looks, believe it or not, like Major Kusanagi, and you hear this voice say, which also sounds like Major Kusanagi saying, "Your mind is open, they're after you." And as soon as that person leaves, he looks back, not knowing what to think of that, and he's curious. As soon as he turns back, his arm gets shot, and he gets shot again in the arm. And he goes down and he starts firing his gun, scaring the people in the store. And then, like, he's after, I believe, like anyone, like there's a strange girl he saw that he's trying to go after, a person in a fedora he didn't quite know. And he actually starts charging the store owner until Ishikawa, probably his other close friend in this movie, still comes in and resets his stuff for his implants so he doesn't attack more people. And you learn that his mind got hacked. And, like, he learns that, when his mind was hacked by whoever's causing all this, he shot himself in his own arm and was going to randomly start attacking people. And in many ways, something similar happens to Togusa, where he goes through the same stuff like later near the end of the movie. So, you know, very dangerous person that they are dealing with, not the small run-of-the-mill stuff here. And in a strange way, if I had to break down the main characters in this movie without getting rid of a character, like certain characters in this movie that are detrimental to the plot, I'd have to say main characters are Bato, Togusa, and Ishikawa, and probably the villain of this movie. Because it's like Aramaki just has a few scenes. You just see a couple of the other guys from Section 9. And when you look at it, the rest of the scenes are taken up by whatever else, memories of Kusanagi, and possible sightings of Kusanagi, as well as, you know, Bato working with Togusa and Ishikawa. So, you know, it's not as, like, hugely driven as the first film was. Of course, you don't really see everybody else in the first movie too. Like maybe they like have a few bit lines, but like you sort of see them more in the background because in many ways it was still Major Kusanagi, Togusa, Bato, and Ishikawa, and you can also add Captain Aramaki to the list because he had a bigger role in the first film than he did in the second. So it really is just an interesting concept overall. And I would like to say, if you guys would love to see more of these characters fleshed out and, you know, delivered more, Ghost in the Shell standalone complex is probably the way to go because they've had several movies. They've had, I think the show lasted for at least a good 2 or 3 seasons. And like I said, I want to get everything involved with that because after checking out several other films and watching quite a bit of the show really fleshes in the characters a lot better than the movies. And it still goes through the same mind-bending concepts you don't want to, like, expect, except not as bad, but yet it still deals with that moral line that they love to play on for this movie. But, of course, with this type of future, where you can have implants galore, artificial bodies, and, you know, like that, the whole thing is, how do you know if you're really living or not? That's what's so great about the whole Ghost in the Shell series. So, you know, overall, you know, I'd have to say it's a great film. I mean, the animation is still great and crisp. The story is, albeit if you want a mindbender of a story, a mindbender, but it is good. I actually enjoyed the villain in this movie a lot more than the Puppet Master, and I won't tell you about the villain, but I will give you the name of the villain. His name is Shin. Not going to say whether he's another artificial intelligence or whether he's a real person, but yeah, Shin is the villain, and I liked him a bit more than the Puppet Master because he had a bit more going for him, and he had a better understanding of why he was trying to do what he was doing, where the Puppet Master was trying to figure things out. Like Shin knew what he was doing, and he seemed not to really care about the consequences of what he was doing. So Shin, I think, is the better villain. And it is cool to see Bato and Togusa take the reins for this movie. I don't know why. I really think, like, and I think it's also because people say they noticed the absence of Major Kusanagi, which is another reason why some fans who told me about the film, and this is all the way back in high school, mind you, said they did not mind it, or they didn't I should say they didn't like it, but I'm like, you know, I enjoyed it all just the same because, I mean, they carried on without Major Kusanagi, but I can tell you, without her being in this film, her presence, or pardon the pun, because they do fit it well within this, her ghost, you can feel throughout the whole movie. So that was very clever of them to do. So the story is really intricate and interwoven and cleverly done. It's not like hokey or whatnot. And the anime, and like the music too is done by, I believe, the same person. Don't know if they have it on the back here. Hold on. No, that was the author. Yeah, they don't have the person who did the music, but the score was very similar, but equally beautiful and great in its own way. And you know, the action bits were just as good as the first movie. I think like there was about the same, maybe a little more for this film, but I really think it was the same on the level of like what was going on. And you know, overall, I have to say, I mean, I still like the first movie better than this one, but I have to say this one is still good, and I give it a, I believe because of both movies being mindbender, I don't know if I think I gave the first one an 8. I give this one a 7 because it's not great or awesome territory or just fantastic. It's a good movie. It's a good sequel with great stuff in it, but it's a good sequel and a good follow through. And you know, it's like I think what makes it for me be that way is because, and I'm not going to say the absence of Major Kusanagi, but it is the absence of like Captain Armaki, maybe some of the other characters, and just how, you know, once again, just the mind bending tricks is like, whoa, and sort of like cool. I mean, because it's cool, but at the same time, it's like, yes, but hey. So, you know, this was Ghost in the Shell 2 Innocence. What did you guys think? Have you guys seen the second anime movie? Have you not? Would you even like to? You know, just leave your comments down below if you want to give me comments on this, and just let me know what you thought of it. And this is 012 Boku coming at you with another great movie review, and I will hopefully see you guys again soon, alright? Okay, peace.